What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz. Welcome to the channel. So George Kittle on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast said that Deebo deserves to get paid with he should chase his bag the way he wants to chase his bag with no shame at all. Especially with his position because he's like we're like a rare breed of he could run like a running back, but he's a receiver. So that's why he wants to get paid as much because he does way more. So George Kittle's defending him. Pat McAfee, shout out Pat McAfee show. He reacted to that clip, so we're gonna react to his reaction of that clip. You know, it's a reaction of the reaction. So I got Nattybaps in the scene, of course. You know, talking about football, you gotta put Nattybaps in here. No, and before that, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's get right.
George Kittle chatted about the Deebo Samuel situation and a little bit more with the Bussin' with the Boys. And we are former players, so we completely understand why and how he is saying what we're about to show. But I think a lot of fans of the Niners might not have expected George Kittle to say what he has said here. But I think we are in an ever-evolving education system of what the NFL actually is, which is a business, as opposed to what it was in the past when players who made any decisions for themselves were labeled terrible, not good for the team. This is from Bussin' with the Boys. George Kittle joined Will Compton, I believe, in a conversation about Deebo Samuel.
Dude, everyone loves Deebo. I also think that it's the NFL. Like, go get what you deserve, dude. Like, Deebo deserves to get paid a lot of money. And if they don't want to pay you a lot of money, do what you need to do, dog. Like, your locker's here. If you want to leave, hey, it's okay. Like, there's no bad blood with me. The window to play NFL football and to get paid a lot of money is like this big for your whole life. You got to be incredibly selfish. You just have to. And like going through contract negotiations is incredibly difficult because I tried my hardest to not be selfish ever. So when you have to be selfish in that moment, it's really hard for a lot of guys. Like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes to contract negotiations. It's not a lot of fun. Best thing I ever heard, Richard Sherman told me it's like braces. It sucks the entire time. Then as soon as you get them off, you forget that you ever had them.
Nah, let's really talk about that before Pat McAfee does his 2 cents. I feel like when the way he said the margin of your time in the league is small, people really don't put that in perspective. Like we spend a lot of people spend 19, 20 some years to perfect it, whatever. They touch the ball at 2 years old. That's how they know they want to play football. So they spend all their lives to prepare for that moment. They get drafted, and then when they get drafted, it could be 1 year, 2 years. I think the average is 4 years in the league.
Usually, yeah.
So getting into the league is not that hard, but the hard part is staying in the league, right? So if you're in a position where you could chase the bag, because because running backs, they don't have the durability that they had back in the day. There's not a lot of Frank Gore's, Adrian Petersons out here playing 15 plus years. You know what I'm saying? But when you got someone like Deebo Samuel who can tote the rock like a running back, also catch stuff in the slot or catch stuff on the wide spread, whatever, that man deserves to get paid because it's going to be a long time, but eventually his body's going to catch up to him. He's going to feel those hits when he's 40, 50 years old. So when he's young, pay the man.
Yeah, so he also mentioned about being selfish. It's you work all your life to you want to put yourself as a team guy and doing whatever it takes to help your team. Deebo probably exemplifies doing whatever it takes to win for your team better than any athlete, any football player currently playing in terms of outside of quarterback. Deebo's willing to do everything possible. Return kicks, catch the ball, run the ball, whatever you need him to do, he wants to win at the end of the day. But then it's okay, you want to win, but you also want to make your money. It's always it's kind of when you're going through your passions in life, right? And this is go for anybody really trying to figure out what they want to do in life. It's I want to do this. If gaming is your passion, if art, if whatever is your passion, you work so hard for that passion. And then it's damn, now do I be selfish and just screw my passions just so I can get a bag? Or continue working on my passions despite how much money I may or may not make. It's
Mm.
a delicate balance between passion versus money. If you can find a way to do both, which most athletes do, as you mentioned, 2 years old, 3 years old, playing pee wee football, they know they want to do this. And you said getting to the league is hard. That's an understatement of the year. Like 53 man rosters times that by 32. Not gonna do quick maths in my head. That's like maybe 2,000. I don't know. Doing it in my
I
calculator
got
real quick.
you. 1,696.
96. So, let's just round it because you got practice squad and all that stuff. 2,000 people are playing professional football, right? That goes like high school being the best, then going to a college that you want to be the best, and then it's like that 1% is like 1% of all like football players make it to the NFL. That's so underrated, and that's such a true statement that time is short. Make as much money as you can. No one can play 20 years like Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, soon to be Matt Stafford. The quarterbacks last longer, but receivers and running backs and tight ends especially, they get hit every single play. So you're not getting lasting that 15 years making that bag as much as you can. So get the money while you can, and then down the line you're like, all right, I made all my money. Let me be a locker room guy. Let me be a vet, like Andre Iguodala on the bench kind of thing. It's like, let me help the locker room get good. So that's something like it's a delicate situation, to say the least.
For sure, for sure.
Real. And that's the bygones be bygones type conversation that we're all chatting about with Baker and anybody else that has a dispute with a team. Normally it's business related. So it feels like for Baker, it's a little bit more personal related, but any business issue can be settled with the right deal. And in the right deal, maybe you don't get everything you want. They don't get everything they want, but you made a deal. You get to move forward. You get to move on. The first time you are the item in Pawn Stars that is being debated from the bald fuck and the expert that they just got down the road, it is an uncomfortable decision. I don't know if you ever had that being a top 5 pick. I assume as you got older that happened, but the business side can jade the shit out of you in the NFL. And I respect and appreciate the fact that Kittle's coming out for his teammates saying, hey man, you got to do what you got to do, because he's not the only one. That's basically the mindset of every NFL locker room across the league.
All they care about is what do you do when you're here, when you are in the facility, when we in game, like really, what do you do in games? We don't even care what you do in practice, anything off season. It really doesn't matter. If you can play on Sundays and Thursdays and Saturdays and Mondays, every day we play now, then it doesn't matter. Like no one cares. So whatever happens off the field and with contracts, when I was first in the league, I always thought about that, especially like in college. That was back when guys actually held out for 2-3 weeks. O-linemen would hold out and try to get some more money or just try to miss camp and all that stuff. I always thought like, man, when they come back, is it going to be weird with the coaches and everybody? Is everyone going to be pissed at them? No, it's like Santa Claus comes and everyone hugs them. I'm like, that's amazing. Yeah. This dude just missed 3 weeks and he came in and it's like the president of the United States shows up in the locker room.
And there's a lot
coaches too, though. Coaches are all excited too.
There's a lot of coaches that talk shit about how you're going to puke today. Hey, you are going to be out of shape. There's a lot of, shots taken about what they missed, what they didn't miss. But as soon as somebody comes back, if it's a business dispute and not a personal reason, as soon as they come back, everybody's loud about it. Everybody's loud. Look who it is. Rich man, like that is a full thing. And you try to get past that awkwardness as fast as possible and make it seem like, we were right back in this. That wasn't a deal.
I feel like when they do that, I feel like it's weird. Like remember TJ Watt last year, right? He sat out for like all of training camp. He's like, I'm getting paid. Like, I'm not playing until I get paid, right? And he could do that because he's the best outside linebacker in the game. So he could do that. But like when he came back, he got like the $100 million and everyone was like, oh, it's lit for me. And he won DPOY. He earned that bread. But like, I feel like with certain people, when they do that, like certain positions, like I feel like they don't have that leverage to do that. Like to hold out and wanting more money. Like, and even if they do, let's say they succeed in that endeavor, like they're like I'm pretty sure the front office, they don't forget. So,
right. But so they said locker room, right? Front office dudes don't go in the locker room like that. To my knowledge, again, this is all conjecture. We don't know what's going on in NFL locker rooms, but I love. It's like you're in a fraternity, right? So you have your boys, right? And then it's like, let's say one of them like had to step away for some personal matters. Like they something happened where they couldn't be as involved as they wanted to be. Right. Then somehow, some way, like whatever that issue gets resolved and they come back, that weight of whatever was weighing on them is off their shoulders, and now they can perform to the best of their ability, whether it's the routines, whether it's just being the best brother possible. I think pressure busts pipes, but also pressure makes diamonds. That like unnecessary pressure. TJ Watt, you literally just mentioned it. He had that negotiation pressure in training camp. Once that was left and he had that guarantee security, I'm a ball out, and boom, broke the single season record. Oh, tied it.
Yeah.
He almost broke it, but tied it. If he didn't miss a game, I think he would have broke it. But that's either here nor there, right? It's like that, and this is what, and that's so I love athletes. I love professional athletes because they practice and worked on the craft so much for our entertainment. Sometimes, and just like in life, though, guaranteed security matters, bro. Doing a job at a Wendy's or a McDonald's, right, with no real guaranteed on hours and stuff like that is different than being your own boss, your own entrepreneur, and having that security as well. Even being your own boss, there's a lot of risk as well.
Yeah.
So it's like having that security, like, yes, I got it, then I don't have to. I put in the work for it, and now like I gotta sustain it. But that pressure of I don't gotta worry about my next meal. I don't gotta worry about having a house over my head. I don't have to worry about the little things that people don't think about. Football players and athletes in general, everybody should want that guaranteed security. Mm-hmm. That's why Deebo, that's why Richard Sherman, that's why any athlete who's going through contractual disputes is usually about guaranteed, not incentives. Because I'll bust my ass for the incentives, but what if I blow my knee out hypothetically? Knock on wood. What if my arm is shattered and I can't throw the ball as much as possible? Stuff like that where like, damn, there's just another cog in the wheel. No, even if I am just another cog in the wheel, let that cog have security, have that guaranteed security, so that they can be the best cog in the system, so they can lead the team to the NFC Championship, Super Bowl, potentially AFC Championship, whatever, division winner, win a game, whatever. Any given Sunday, anything could happen, good or bad. Security matters most for everybody, especially for an inherently dangerous game like the NFL.
Indeed.
And I think inside locker rooms and people that understand the business of the NFL and maybe have been fired before or have gotten fucked over in a deal before, and that's why the locker rooms are the way they are, this has always been understood. But I think for fans, and I'll ask you, Nick, fans, I think, have always never really viewed it this way. But now with the modern media and the more that we know and getting to learn about players via their social media and then what they give back as opposed to what they don't give back, it's hard to just say, oh, this person's a fucking asshole, when there's a lot of evidence that says, like, no, the guy's actually not an asshole. He's just trying to handle his business. It feels like it's been a little bit of turn of the tide on the viewership of business in the NFL with players.
Now that we as fans are exposed to all the news in terms of the financial situations, all the billions the organization and the league is bringing in, it's a little more eye-opening in the sense, okay, these players want their fair share too, and they're going to do what they need to do to get it. And it's business. You view it more as a business than it is so just, I'm from Pittsburgh, I like the Steelers. Fuck everybody else.
You're lucky you get to play Steelers because you might have played in high school and you're like, this person has a job that I dreamed of, and now he's going to act like he's not making enough money. It's like, well, if you're in that position, pal, the job you dreamed of, we would all want you to make the most amount of money that you could possibly make. It's a little bit different than.
Now he says that, it kind of makes a lot of sense, right? So back then, we loved players, but we loved our teams more. But nowadays, as like social media and like media in general has made that switch for us, like we loved our teams. I love my Ravens throwing too, but I love seeing my players win. I love seeing my players get the money that they deserve. So like I feel like the diva receiver or the diva quarterback, well, Aaron Rodgers is the diva, but like the negative stigma that they place on a lot of like athletes now is not really the case. It's just like so the media could be on their ass, so then that the receiver because fresher, like you said, to take less money and less time without the guarantees. But if they stay in their ground, which the people like us peons and the whole game. We trying to make it big, but like people like us rooting for the players, because the players make the money. Like the shield's always gonna be there no matter who's playing, because we all love football. But like the players are the ones who thrive in it. If the players are not good, and we're not gonna see a good product, we're not gonna watch it. Look at the USFL. We was invested for like 2-3 weeks, and no, we're not.
I
They
mean,
had
the championship is the Saturday.
like, bro, I did not know until the other day. Like, bro, the product is not good. We're not gonna watch it. You feel me? NFL is king, but it's because the players make it the king. The citizens of the village makes the NFL what it is. So if you're not playing the players that they deserve to be paid, then they trash.
Yeah.
In your high school, when you're selling tickets and maybe raising a little bit money for your athletic department, and as opposed to billions and billions and billions of dollars being on the line, not that you can't affect your future brain and body in high school, you certainly can, but in the NFL, you see a lot of the future injuries and bodies of players. It's like, I'm happy that we're at a point where it feels like people are much more understanding that this is a business. This isn't the high school game that you played or that the guys played. This is a it's the same game, different world, AJ. And I'm happy
but it's
that's
not
happening.
all bad. Like the fact that it is a business, everyone instantly wants to jump and say, oh, what's terrible. Like it's the love of the game. That's why they started playing. Yeah, of course. And the majority of those guys out there playing absolutely love football, but there's just a lot off the field that happens. And I think what's cool is watching old school coaches. That would surprise me when I was young in the league. I was pretty naive to that. I assumed, like where I come from, hey, if you make any waves outside the locker room, like they're going to kill you and everyone's going to hate you when you get back. Like that's what I assume. Like, hey, you're a traitor or whatever. And it's not the case at all. Even like the most old school diehard football coaches that you can't even have a real conversation with. They only know how to talk football and 3 technique and shade and where this guy's going to be. Even that person usually, like I've come across where they'll tell them, hey man, no, hey, take care of your business. Do what you got to do. We get it. If you need to get out of here, like I've watched them tell people that, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's pretty cool how there's kind of a good little balance, I think.
And to the Tomlin point, it's almost like the coaches feel like, hey, you got to handle your business when you get back. It's on me to make sure you catch up. Like it is, it's a cool
That's
thing.
why we're called coach. I'm not scared to coach. That's why I like Tomlin a lot. Like that's what we're here to do.
What did Aaron Rodgers say? Cool profession, tough business, or good profession, tough business. I forget how he described playing in the NFL, but that's because a lot of guys that make the NFL, and I reiterate this fact a lot, but it's why the business becomes a potential jaded spot or a not so favorite part, as George Kittle described it and Sherman described it as braces. Most guys from high school are being tabbed as NFL guys. This is an NFL guy. This guy's the best in his school. This guy's the best in his team, in his surrounding area. He has a lot of articles being written about him. In college, this fucking guy might have redshirted, but this is an NFL guy. On campus, this is an NFL guy. This is an NFL guy. Then you get to a league filled with all the guys that had the same exact thing, and you are being told that you're not worth the amount that this person's worth. Or why are you asking for what this person's worth when your entire life, not everybody obviously, but most guys, your entire life you've been told you're the guy, you're the guy, you're the guy. Then you go into negotiation and they're like, you're certainly a guy, but the guy is worth this.
Yeah.
You're worth this. And that's just a direct punch right to the nuts of pride for a lot of guys.
Bro, that is crazy the way he explained that shit. Because, like, someone would be hyped up, right? Crazy, right? And then, everyone's like, oh, yeah, you about to be the next guy. You're the guy, you're the man. But then you in college, everyone else is the man from where they from. So you gotta become the big dog of that campus. And then once you get into the NFL, everyone on the team was that guy. Or you say in Alabama's case, freaking 10 motherfuckers is those guys. But like the same sentiment, like you got a bunch of guys who are on the same level. So you're not gonna be better than them. And then that's where you get hyped up. And then when it's time to make that money, yeah, you're good, but are you really this good? So that's where people start doubting themselves. And I'm like, damn, like the whole like lifespan of between getting hyped up in high school, recruited for college, getting to college, being a dog 3 years or 4 years, getting your degree and getting this millions of dollars. We doing this like we like questioning it, like we made millions before. Not yet,
Yep.
but like you feel me, like any money that they get for us would be great money, but for them it's like, damn, like I deserve this.
So
I
like
deserve that.
imposter syndrome is crazy. Like that you can extrapolate that with society too. It's like think anyone who went to top Ivy League school, Notre Dame, for example, right? There's so many people I've talked to. I've had conversations with people, with myself included, like some like mentors and stuff. Like, damn, I was the shit in middle school, the shit in high school, and then college said, "Ooh, you think you're the shit, man?" Like a giant kick to the pride, where you have to go to office hours. You have to actually put in the work to study. I'm like, shit, I never had to study a day in my life. What are you talking about? That shit just came like this to me. Then, first exam shows up. I was like, holy shit, you're in for a rude awakening. Like, that happens everywhere. Everyone boosts you up so much sometimes. And then that first setback can derail a lot of people. Whether it is just, oh, you're just a guy, or you're the guy. Like that mentality can be extrapolated to society as well. So many people get hyped up thinking that they're the shit. And then like when one thing falls, it's like, am I really the shit? Like, as everything I've known a lie? Like a giant kick to the nuts with pride. The pride nuts, if you will.
That's crazy.
That's something I did not consider that in the NFL. Like that's damn, man.
That's crazy.
Whoa.
I know
Break
we gonna do it. We'll do it later.
Okay.
And that's when you see people get like, oh, fuck you. Everything I've done for you. I fucking broke an ankle. I sprained my fucking knee, my AC joint for this team. And now you're going to tell me that this guy that's never done a thing for our team is worth more than what I'm worth and what I'm asking. Like what I'm asking for is a fucking problem. That's how it spirals. I'm not saying that's, by the way, my position, I'm fucking punter. I'm just saying I viewed this numerous times with numerous teammates. When guys from outside would come in and get paid, then these guys would be like, hey, I'm up. This is what I'm looking for. And like, yeah, we can't do that. It's like, motherfucker, when you were literally sitting in a corner in Philadelphia losing, I was playing in a Super Bowl for this fucking team. I was doing this whole thing. Like that's when the business becomes, a little bit of a sore subject for a lot of guys.
That's something like no one considers the NFL a business. They just think it's for entertainment, but
like the revenue streams is crazy. That is insane. So like when I feel like money's always a topic of discussion where like it's just not good. I hope Deebo gets his money. I hope everyone who wants their bread gets their bread.
Lamar Jackson,
fuck out of here. But ladies and gentlemen, that does it for this video. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend. Shout out Pat McAfee, you are a goat, so I would love to join your show one day. Shoot my shot. Let's see.
Come to talk football with us one day. Word.
Pop out. But have a good day, y'all. Peace.